guys, welcome to Ellie's Toy Chest. So I just made a frozen cake and I was thinking what would go really well with a frozen cake, and I thought frozen ice cream. So today we're going to decorate 100 Snowgies on ice cream molded ice cream. You could make an ice cream cake if you wanted to. I'm just going to take some ice cream, it's going to be really easy. Mix some blue food coloring in with it and some marshmallows, put it in the freezer, let it mold to a circle shape, and then I will decorate the marshmallows and put them all over the top, and it's going to be gorgeous. So let's get started. Just want to let your ice cream sit out so it's a nice soft serve consistency. Otherwise you're going to have a hard time mixing in the blue food coloring. So I wouldn't suggest nuking the ice cream, because if you do it too much it will melt, and when you refreeze it it'll have a lot of ice crystals in it. My ice cream isn't quite soft enough yet. I got a gallon container. I'm suspecting you'll use about a half gallon. And actually there's quite a few containers that are circular. Let's see if you can see that. Circular. So if you wanted to get one of these, you could probably get away with cutting it in half without molding it. Or I saw lots of sorbets in plastic containers. You could also use those to get your base to do this project. Also, Jello would work. You will need ice cream, blue food coloring, and marshmallows for this section, and then you will need mini marshmallows, giant roasting marshmallows, and cocoa melts, chocolate melt, candy melts, and chocolate candy melts. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix this up, put a little bit of food coloring in it. You don't need to get it really dark blue unless you just want it a specific color. I'm just mixing in the blue dye so the marshmallows in there will pop out. If you let it sit out a little bit longer and get to that nice soft consistency, it'll be a lot easier to mix in. If you wanted to not do this by hand, you could also use a mixer. Would probably be pretty easy too. Now for molding purposes, you will want to use a metal pan because it'll be easier to get it out. When you think you've got it nice and smooth, got all the lumps that you want to get out of it, you'll just add about a cup of marshmallows to it. A little bit more if you really like marshmallows, a little bit less if you don't need that many. And I'm pretty happy with that, so I'm going to go ahead and get my marshmallows. If you notice that you don't have enough ice cream, you can add more. Not really measuring, so that's bad, but just want to mix those in there. When they're mixed in pretty good, just going to take them and pour them into my pan. If you don't quite fill the pan all the way, it's not a big deal. You're going to use Cool Whip on top of it. If you wanted this to be the actual cake, you could just add the bottom layer of cake to it, or brownie, or some cookie crumbs. And then you could take care of both things at one time. It's okay if it's kind of melty, if you want it that way. Not that it matters, for that way the bottom of the pan, which will become the top, gets it in all the corners or edges. And that's what it looks like. We're just going to take that and put it in the freezer. There. So I added another 2 cups of marshmallows, so you'll need, I think I used a little less than a quarter of a gallon of ice cream and about 4 cups marshmallows and some blue food coloring in a 8-inch pie cake pan. So this is just going to go in the freezer now. I'm guessing it'll take at least 2 hours to set before you can run it under warm water and get it to release. For making the Snowgies, we are going to use mini jet craft marshmallows, your candy melts, and then either a Ziploc bag that you just cut the corner off of, but I do have problems with the seams busting sometimes, or a pastry bag, plastic one, and you're just going to cut off the tip. After you melt the chocolate, you're going to put it in here to use. It's a lot easier than actually using a tip, because then it's a whole bunch of hardened chocolate to clean out. So, and then we're also going to try the giant roaster. And so I'm going to go melt some chocolate, and I'll be right back. You melt the chocolate in 10-second intervals in the microwave, in a microwave-safe bowl. I would do like a quarter of a bag at a time, because once it starts to get room temperature, it'll harden, and then you have to do some more. And if you keep putting the same one in, you tend to burn it, and it tends not to melt as nicely. So a little bit at a time is better. I'm going to go ahead and put some chocolate in my bag so I can use it to pipe. Right now I'm going to make the Snowgies faces, and I think I've counted out 104 marshmallows or something like that, so that if I mess 1 or 2 up, it won't be a big deal. And there's a Snowgie face. So we're just going to make 100 faces really quickly. Sometimes the marshmallows are a little deformed if you just press on them. Make them a circle for your snowman. I just wanted to show you, you're going to want to make Olaf's hands. You're going to want to make them kind of thick. So I just go back and forth 3 times or so, 4. Make an arm with fingers, however you want it to be. So Olaf has hands, and then to put the marshmallows together in the front, I don't know how many you'll need, but you'll just want to do little strips. So you can use these like toothpicks in between your marshmallows. You want them to be a little thicker than that. That's what your little Snowgies look like. Not all of them, of course. I did a lot extra just so I could pick the ones I liked the best and put them in the front. And then let some of the chocolate dry. We'll come back, we'll put our Cool Whip on top of our ice cream, and then we'll start the fun part, which is to put it all together. Oh, also for Olaf, you're going to want to make the little twigs that stick out of his head. So you can either use some that you did already for the to stick the Snowgies together in the front, or you can do 3 or 4 more for the top of his head. So it's set up. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and put a layer of Cool Whip on the top. Then layers fine. And around the sides, just like you're frosting the cake. Then we're going to put it back in the freezer so it can set up so our snowman won't melt into it. And then I will show you how to make Olaf. And we will put the Snowgies together and put it all on the ice cream. For the 2 Snowgies that he's holding, you're going to put a little dab of icing to glue it together. And stick them together and let them sit. So hopefully they'll stick. If you put too much icing on there, it's really not a big deal because it's white. It's not really gonna make a big difference. So I would say more rather than less is better. Because you want them to really stick together. So to make a whole mini snowman, you're just going to take one marshmallow, cut it in quarters, put a little bit of icing on it, stick your 2 little quarters down, put a little more icing on the top, and then stick your head on there. And if you happen to get a little bit of icing on the face, it just wipes off very nicely. So, and then just kind of smush it together and let it set to dry. I'm guessing you'll need about 15 ones with feet, and then another 15 without feet, and then the rest I think you'll be able to get away with just heads. So you're going to want 2 pieces of fondant, one significantly bigger than the other. That's what we have. Roll them both into balls. I'm going to do both kind of, I call it a cone and a dome, but what I'm going to do is smush it out and press it against the wax paper. So just smush it out to the best of your ability. Kind of make a ridge around the edge. That is going to be the top portion. The smaller part is going to be what I call the dome. And then this one needs to be more of a cone. It's going to be the chin. So you want it to cone and dome when you put it together, and that's what it looks like. Now you're just going to want to take and cut out where your mouth is going to go, and take your knife and push it in. So you have a place to fill in when you put in your black or blue fondant. So I'm just going to do that real quick. So it'll look about like that. Then you're just going to take a piece of dark blue, just a little piece, and make a piece to fit in that spot. Warm it up a little bit. You won't need a lot. So it'll look something like that. And the eyes are lower, but they're oval. So just want to take it and put it right there. And they're kind of close together in the center. And then take it and push up with it and make a large oval indent. Try to make them equal. Try to really feel like you're pushing the skull part up. The top of the head. So something like that's pretty good. And make 2 circles that are going to fit in the eye sockets. And you're going to smooth it out in the eye socket, the whole circle. That might be a little big. So half of that. Make a circle. Put the circle over top of where you think the eye is going to go. Like so, and then push it in the eye socket and just smooth it out. You want to smooth the edge. So about like that. Then you're going to make 2 small white circles out of your fondant, so about like that. Then you need another small circle of black to go in each eye. Take your toothpick, put your eye in, and then I poke all the way through and make like a little donut, and it makes a white center in the eye. Now it's time for the nose. So you just need a little bit of orange for your nose. Make a carrot shape. So just make sure you have a nice ridge. You're going to put the carrot shape in between the eyes right there. I just use my toothpick to kind of press down. And then just push it in a little bit so it doesn't show where you pressed it down at. So there is his nose. Now he just needs some eyebrows. So you take your black, roll it out really, really thin like a snake. And you want to cut 2 equal pieces. Normally I cut off both ends, so I don't normally take from the middle. Try to take both ends. So just take your knife and take it around to the other side. Try to make sure they're even. It's better if you cut them a little longer. If they're too long, you can cut them a little shorter. If you cut them too short, you got to do it all over again. So, and the last thing that Olaf needs is just the little white piece in the middle of his mouth. And there is Olaf, mostly. I took a marshmallow for the bottom. I'm not sure if that's the best idea or not, just because it's not very heavy. And the rest of Olaf is pretty heavy. So, and I put 2 black pieces of fondant on it. Then I just did a middle piece of fondant, about half the size of the marshmallow. And then Olaf's head is just going to go right on the top there. And there he is. Now you just need arms and his hair pieces. So there are Olaf's hair pieces. And there is a finished Olaf to go in the center of our ice cream. So we're just going to go ahead and put Olaf on the cake. We're going to put him about 3/4 back in the middle. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start putting some on to see how many more I might need. See how big they are in comparison. So I'm almost done, and that's what it looks like so far. Attach a little bit of chocolate to the back of your chosen one, like this. I did want to tell you, while I was making happy marshmallow faces, some people came by and just started eating them. They really liked that they had all the happy faces on the marshmallow, so you'll have to make extra when you do this. And it looks like they've hardened up, so we're just going to stick the arms back in if we can and turn them so you can see the little snow bees on the end of the arms. Just be careful when you do this not to break the arms. And in between putting these on, I've been putting it back in the freezer so it would freeze up some. That's what the finished product looks like. I just wanted to go ahead and show you an eye level view of the cake. That is what it looks like at eye level. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut off a piece of cake off the front so I can show you a slice of it. That's what a slice of the ice cream with the marshmallows in it looks like. And all the little snowmen. Thank you for watching this edition of Ellie's Toy Chest. I hope you enjoyed it, and please leave any comments below. Woo!